And there it is right there. So there it is right there. Words don't come easy. So words don't come easy. Certainly, hopefully, words do come easy. Otherwise, I shouldn't be doing this, should I? If words don't come easy, then I should not be doing this. If you were here earlier, then you're here again. Don't feel a sense of deja vu. It was we had technical, not even technical issues. It was a break in transmission at our Teju Osho transmitting station, as they used to say back on NTA back in the day. So words don't come easy, but here it is. We do it again. So protocol still remains the same. Click on the like button if you would. Subscribe if you haven't. Come join Hyperlink says stream. Yeah, that should be in the comment section right there. I'm not even going to do more than that. Just like and subscribe. That should be sufficient enough to keep me happy. Like and subscribe. So all those things. This yet has to be a record, the latest yet that we've ever started. But there it is. At some point, we'll achieve some form of consistency. But do like and subscribe if you haven't done those. Let's just launch into it, shall we? Enough time wasted already. So, you see, you know the problem with a lot of these news platforms is if you put on an ad blocker, it won't let you access it. But if you remove the ad blocker, all you just have is an abundance or all manners of nonsensical whatever pasted all over. So there it is. Nevertheless, we soldier on. Let's soldier on. Let's launch straight into it. So no heavy preambles for this one. We just got straight into it. So now this northern tour that Sheyi Tinubu has been undertaking over the last few weeks thereabout. There was a somewhat of a tentativeness to it, that northern tour. You know, it was on a knife-edged balance, that sort of a strategy. It could pay out spectacularly, or it could backlash epically. So through that, because offense can easily be taken, and the politics of offense is now in play. Sheyi Tinubu's food sharing in northern Nigeria is degrading, an insult to our legacy. Ex-Jigawa Governor Lamido. So that's Sule Lamido, of course. There were clips of him actually saying that, but he was saying it in Hausa language. As widely spoken as that, I'm not sure that everybody would have understood this. So let's just take it from here. Sheyi Tinubu's food sharing in northern Nigeria is degrading, an insult to our legacy. What legacy do they have? Their legacies are Almajiris. If you want, there was a time that somebody did a clip. They drove around just a whole series of streets, a whole series of roads. I think it was in Kano, and it was C after C, SEA. It was C after C of heads of children, and none of them older than 7, just on the streets with pants already. There must have been the better part of 10 to 50,000, maybe even 100,000 of them. And he's talking about a legacy. Sheyi Tinubu's food sharing in northern Nigeria is degrading. The northern Nigeria is degrading anyway, so that Sheyi Tinubu is even coming there to feed you. Maybe you should go on your knees and rank Adede him. Sheyi Tinubu's food sharing in northern Nigeria is degrading, and insults to our legacy. Ex-Jigawa Governor Lamido. So what does he have to say? The Owala from the north. Former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido has condemned the recent visit of Sheyi Tinubu, son of President Bola Tinubu, to northern Nigeria, where he distributed food to residents. Lamido described the let's do that again. Let's stay from the top entirely. Sheyi Tinubu's food distribution in northern Nigeria is degrading, and insult to our legacy. Ex-Jigawa State Governor Lamido, our former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido, has condemned the recent visit of Sheyi Tinubu, son of President Bola Tinubu, to northern Nigeria, where he distributed food to residents. Lamido described the act as a humiliation and an insult to the people of the region. in a video where he was addressing a gathering in Hausa. Lamido criticized the gesture, suggesting that it was degrading and politically motivated. It was politically motivated and it is degrading, but it is degrading, but it is symptomatic of the malaise that afflicts that place. It's a reflection. It degrades more the elite of that space rather than the poor talakawas that this guy is using as political pawns. Because they are political top, and even Sule Lamido is using them as a political pawn now because they are there, and you've never done anything about them. If they were not there in that starving position to be fed, Sheyi Tinubu will not be leveraging them as political tools. And the reason why they are there as starving pawns to be used as political leverage is because you have put them in that position. So there's never been a sense of self-awareness in northern Nigeria anyway. They just feel, I think it's the way their society is structured. I was going to say they feel a sense of entitlement, but they have this hierarchical, oligarchical sort of a system, that slots you into sharp paradigms within their society. So the elites, they're almost under obligation to exploit the masses, and the masses almost live in it's like what is that Stockholm syndrome sort of set up over there. Let's take it from the top again, and then we see what we're making of it. Sheyi Tinubu's food distribution in northern Nigeria is degrading and insult to our legacy, says ex-Jigawa Governor Lamido. Yes, former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido has condemned the recent visit of Sheyi Tinubu, son of President Bola Tinubu, to northern Nigeria, where he distributed food to residents. Lamido described the act as a humiliation and an insult to the people of the region. In a video where he was addressing a gathering in Hausa, Lamido criticized the gesture, suggesting that it was degrading and politically motivated. He said, "You will hear people saying that Arewa is known for bravery and integrity." I'm not sure that is what they are known for. They're known for especially Amajeri rather, and brutish sort of behavior. I'm not quite sure that anybody who's the public face of integrity amongst the is it Abacha, or is it Buhari, or is it Babangida? Which one of them suggests integrity? You will hear people saying that Arewa, or Arewa, some people like to pronounce it, is known for bravery and integrity. Yet Tinubu is going to Sokoto and Kano distributing cooked rice to our people. This is total humiliation. Is this how to govern or promote good governance? What Tinubu is doing to the northern people is an insult. Is this what we have been subjected to? This is the height of humiliation, and they know it. Arewa, which produced great leaders like Aminu Kano, Saudana, Asa Ahmedu Bello, Tafawa Balewa, and many other prominent figures, is now being reduced to a region where people are only giving cooked rice. So why have they ended up in that position is the question. However, it is up to us to unite and resist this humiliation, or fold our arms and allow an outsider to come into our region and belittle us. It is time to stand for what is right. If we stay on the right track in this country, no one can ever defeat us, he said. So I'm not quite sure. It'll be interesting what this, we're having a census sometimes this year. It'll be interesting what that census actually produces, to then see then if they stay on the right track or not, what that will mean. Sheyi Tinubu recently embarked on a visit to several northern states, including Niger, to distribute food packages during the Ramadan. And by the way, it is customary for food to be distributed during Ramadan by the privileged to the less privileged. So it is consistent with both the religion and especially the culture in the north. So I'm not quite sure where it's called. It's almost like racism, isn't it? It's like ethnic jingoistic dog whistle. That is what you are getting from the Mala, from Jigawa. Um, Sheikh Tinubu recently embarked on visits to several northern states, including Niger, to distribute food packages during the Ramadan fasting period. They distributed items such as Dan Wake, a popular local dish made from beans flour, were packaged in plastic bags adorned with the image of President Tinubu and Sheyi. I think it was a bad move on Sheyi's part anyway. It's a bad politics, that sort of a politics. This initiative, and by the way, that the first backlash actually came from what Bala Mohammed's son. Is it Bala Mohammed, the guy in Bauchi anyway? That the first backlash against Sheyi Tinubu actually came from his son. The initiative was met with significant backlash from northern communities. Many residents perceived the gesture as an attempt to gain political favor amidst prevailing economic hardships in the region. So that's what politics has always used in Nigeria anyway. They impoverish you, and then they use that impoverishedness to manipulate you, to keep you even further impoverished. So if the price of vote is now like cellophane bag of rice, then that's a new low. Critics argued that distributing basic street food items during a sacred period, especially with personalized branding, was both insensitive and exploitative. So the real death nail, the real faux pas, the real schoolboy error that he made was to brand the cellophane bags, the nylon bags. So you are putting food in nylon bags and throwing it at these people like they were dogs, and they are adorning it with your father's image. That vote for him. He has left you in the place. Is put you in a place of being a starving person. But here he is now feeding you just for not even for a day, just for a meal. Critics argued that distributing basic street food items during a sacred period, especially with personalized branding, was both insensitive and exploitative. The discontent was further amplified on social media platforms where users questioned the sincerity and timing of Sheyi Tinubu's actions during the Ramadan iftar. So there it is right there. Don't worry about that though. You've always exploited your people, but Tinubu is welcome to exploit them too. Fubara makes first public appearance days after suspension by Tinubu. Photo location surfaces. So this is Simi Fubara, who is still preening and peacocking. By the way, he still thinks he's the main man. I will see if he ever gets back into that state house. Fubara makes first public appearance days after suspension by Tinubu. Photo location surfaces. I think we all already know that it's in Bayelsa anyway. Similaya at least he's now famous now. He's probably the most famous Nigerian governor now. Siminalayi, or whatever I say, Simi, let's call him. Simi Fubara, the suspended governor of Rivers State, made his first public appearance on Sunday, March the 23rd, 2025. Correspondents reported this 5 days after President Bola Tinubu declared a state of emergency in the state and suspended him temporarily from office. Fubara attended a special prayer worship and thanksgiving at the Salvation Ministry's headquarters in the government reservation area, Port Harcourt. So apparently still within the Port Harcourt. I thought they said they had escaped to Bayelsa. The embattled governor's presence dispels speculation. You know, they've been circulating it around the obedient spaces that this guy has been arrested, he's been detained by the army. Some are even claiming that it was shot. You know how wild they get over there. The embattled governor's presence dispels speculation that he had relocated to neighboring Bayelsa State. It also confirmed that he's safe, contrary to an alarm raised by a political stakeholder who feared for his life. Some prominent figures who attended, so anyway, it's still in his own home state. That is the upshot of that. But the upshot of that, it carries on still. Attention as another explosion. Oh, Jide, if you want to hop on, just to have a little bit of a conversation. We see how this goes. Tension as another explosion hits gas facilities in Rivers. So the expectation, of course, that we will start seeing the blowing up of government facilities or government infrastructures. It's not is it a facility? What government access? Let's put it that way. A gas explosion has occurred at the Soku oil facility in the Akuku Toru local government area of Rivers State. This is happening barely a week after a major explosion rocked the Trans-Niger pipeline in Bobo, whatever something or the other local government area of the state. So they continue with the bombing still. I'm just going to rattle through the headlines and then we'll see if we can craft something somewhat of a conversation. So that's Fubara found. That's the blowing up of assets in the Delta. So here it is now. The backlash against that girl that you notice from Abia State, the girl that told us Lagos thing. So maybe it smells better in Abia State. I don't know. Lagos rejects smelling claims. Affirms commitment to clean city. But Lagos can be untidy. Exactly in certain spaces, Lagos can be untidy. The Lagos state government has reaffirmed its commitment to a cleaner, more resilient, and livable city, dismissing viral claims that the state is smelling. In a Sunday statement signed by the Director of Public Affairs at the Ministry of at the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, Akunle Adesina, the government emphasized that Lagos is evolving as a megacity with structured solutions to tackle environmental challenges. Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, described the allegations as misleading, asserting that the state remains focused on strategic environmental initiatives. Lagos is not smelling, it is evolving towards sustainable waste processing, modernized landfill management, cleaner waterways, and structured sanitation systems, he said. So, what does a structured sanitation system mean? We know they like to take a dump in the middle of the gutters. He stressed that the administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is unwavering in its commitment to environmental sustainability. The present administration remains steadfast in its commitment to building a cleaner, more sustainable city through strategic environmental initiatives, we have stated, adding that waste and sanitation challenges in a rapidly growing megacity like Lagos required structural solutions, not soundbites or political rhetorics. So all of this long and winding essay just because the girl called Lagos smelly. Lagos smells, so forget all that. Certainly in certain parts, Lagos does smell. It's very untidy. They don't just have a system, you know. They don't have a system. That's the issue there. Let me send the link in just to see if anybody. It's like fishing, isn't it? The link is like a nest. It's like a fishing net being cast to see what it brings in. So let's cast the fishing net, which is the link. So that it is right there. Anybody else will hop on. Where were we? So Lagos smelling. So we've done that. Let's go on from that to this. Join SDP through legitimate ways. Adebayo to defector. So that is Prince Adebayo still trying to hold on to his position within that party. You know, there are heavy push. We were actually meant to have a guest today, but the way this week has been for me, I couldn't really slot it in. I'll try and slot in him for next week. So it's a big guest, by the way. But I'll tell you more tomorrow after I've probably spoken with him to see if it's still game. The 2023 presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party SDP during the 2023 general elections, Adewale Adebayo, at the weekend, called on those interested in joining the party to follow due process. These people are in a hurry. They are not in a, they have to have a convention fairly soon because there are people actually pushing for leadership roles already. But El Rufai, barely 2 weeks, is pushing for leadership positions within the party. And the secretary of the party, who, by the way, is the guest that I'm working on, we'll see if he comes on or not, Oluwagundoye, is actually in court trying to force them back from trying to force their way into leadership roles within the party. It's all very convoluted. Adebayo, who makes the call in Abeokuta when he met with the SDP members and executive members led by the state chairman, etc., said the party is open to defectors, but they must do so legitimately. I'm not quite sure what legitimately means. They go and register. If I go online now and sign up at the SDP website, then I'm automatically a member of that party, I suspect. So it's not some long and winding. It's not being initiated into a cult, The former presidential candidate, flanked by the former Minister of Youth and Sports, Sule Dalong, allayed fears of members on the alleged party hijack, saying the National Working Committee of the SDP can only issue membership cards through the executive at the state level. So apparently, you can't just go online and register, which should be the case, by the way. What do you mean you can't? By the way, what do you mean you can't see the link? I've just posted it there. People are counterfeiting naira. They are counterfeiting dollars. They are bringing counterfeit rice. I don't quite know what it's saying, but it's essentially, it's a bit like a lion that goes around and pees against trees. Is marking his territory. That's just what Prince Adebayo is doing right there, marking his territory. Shoyinka criticizes Tinubu's emergency rule. I'm just skimming through because we're starting so late. So if a conversation is going to take place, I want us to get to it very quickly. Shoyinka criticizes Tinubu's emergency rule in Rivers, calls for constitutional reform. So at least he's not saying it's unconstitutional. It's saying it's bad form. And I believe it's bad form too, by the way, that a president can be so powerful that he can remove a state governor that he did not appoint but was appointed by the people. That cannot be right, really. It should not be the case. And the process for doing what Tinubu did, it should be long and convoluted and difficult because it is the people's mandate, that you are impacting on. Right. Renowned Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka has criticized President Bola Tinubu's decision to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State, stating that it undermines the spirit of federalism. Tinubu imposed emergency rule on Tuesday, citing political instability in the oil-rich state. He also suspended Governor Stephen Fubara, his deputy, and all members of the Rivers State Assembly for an initial period of 6 months, appointing Ibas, a retired Navy general, as the state sole administrator. Speaking to correspondents, Soyinka argued that Nigeria's constitution grants the president excessive power, and I agree with that. If that is the angle that Wole Soyinka is tackling it from, then I agree with that. So, let's see. Hold on. Hold on. Yes, let me send the link to Dile. So yes, if that's the angle that Shoyinka is tackling it from, I have to say that I agree. Speaking to correspondents, Shoyinka argued that Nigeria's constitution grants the president excessive powers, making the country's federal system more centralized than it should be. So that argument I'm on board with, not the arguments of the raw meat eaters that are just saying it's unconstitutional, it's a dictatorship and all of this. This is a more nuanced sort of an argument. And the sort of argument that Prince Adebayo would make, intelligent people talking, not raw meat eaters. If it is constitutionally right, then I think it's about time we sat down and amended the constitution to make sure that it operates as a genuine federal entity, he said. Shoyinka further questions the wisdom of Tinubu's decision, suggesting that a true federal system should prevent such unilateral. Was it a unilateral action? It was an action taken in consultation, but the decision, of course, has to be made by somebody. So it was not a unilateral decision. Shoyinka further questions the wisdom of Tinubu's decision, suggesting that a true federal system should prevent such unilateral actions. The debate will go on whether this was, in the first place, a wise decision. But in terms of fundamental principles, I believe that this is against the federal spirit of association. So I do agree with that. So it truncates the will of the people, and that can never be right. That is, of course, if Fubara won an election, but he has a mandate. So essentially, he carries that mandate of his people. So it truncates the will of or it doesn't even truncate it, though, because it's not brought it to a halt, but it places in abeyance the will of the people, and that cannot be right. Shoyinka reiterated his long-standing call for a national conference, which he believes will pave the way for a true representative constitution. The system we're operating right now is not the best for a pluralistic society like ours. The federal spirit of association is the cardinal principle. Right now, in principle, this action is against the federal imperative. The renowned playwright and activist has consistently advocated for a constitutional overhaul, arguing that Nigeria's current structure does not reflect true federalism. His latest remarks add to the growing debate over Tinubu's emergency declaration and its implications for democracy and governance. The one thing you have to say about Tinubu, whether you agree, disagree, whatever your thoughts are, the one thing you cannot equivocate is that Tinubu has the capacity to make big decisions. And it's showing now that it will be much to your chagrin if you don't ever underestimate the guy, because he's showing you all of the reasons why you should not. Look at the big heavyweight decisions the audacity of the decision to suspend a city state governor, but he's done it. The parliament has signed it off, and heavens has not fallen. Fubara is there now, looking contrite and looking humble. So don't underestimate the guy. If you underestimate him, you make it easier for him to overrun you. Acknowledge him for what he is, a very sharp and savvy operator, and then go at him from that, that understanding. So if you're doing a drug dealer, forget all that. Now that's nonsense. It's like, where's his certificate? He graduated from a school before he was built. Okay, now, but it's your president, and he's making all these heavyweight decisions. So acknowledge what you are seeing, believe your eyes, and then respond to it. So don't believe the fallacious nonsense going on at the back of your head. Believe this guy is telling you who he is, and he's acting it out, and you're thinking it's some dumbass nothing that you can overrun with screaming and shouting and silly little skits on social media. The renowned playwright and activist has consistently advocated for a constitutional overhaul, arguing that Nigeria's current structure does not reflect true federalism. His latest remark adds to the growing debate over Tinubu's emergency declaration and its implications for democracy and governance in Nigeria. So there it is right there. I think Choyinka just really came out to document his thoughts. That's essentially how we have to read that. So Choyinka just came out essentially just to document his thoughts. 5 days after suspension, Fubara appears in Port Harcourt. So we've seen that. So that's what I've got. If you got anything else that you want to add to the mix, then just notify. Either come in to tell me or put it in the comment section. So if there's anything we're missing in the news cycle that you'd like us to debate or share thoughts on, just either come in to speak about it or put it. And there's still the never-ending saga of Natasha Akpoti, of course. But let's rattle through the clips now that we have, and then we see if we have a session. So let's rattle through. Oh, actually, let's pick it up. We're still staying in River State, by the way, and we pick it up from ground zero. So a lot of people will see this clip now and call Wike a hypocrite, but that would be a misreading of the situation. Wike is not a hypocrite. It's not. There are certain people that are sprinkled with the sparkle dust of essence and stardom. So you cannot have somebody that has star qualities to equivalent them with the average person, even if that person is a gifted person. You know, people like Wike, Tinubu, Buhari, these people they are not in Yoruba land we could call them or they are like orishas. They are like demigods, so they are not to equivocate to the level of elements like Fubara or the everyday Joe. So the fact that Wike says this in this clip, it doesn't make him a hypocrite. When I play the clip now, you understand where I'm coming from. So we pick it up from here.
What advice would you give to your brother governor in Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode, giving his rift with his political godfather?
I will tell him to resist it. If it is correct, I'll tell him to resist it. Godfatherism cannot work in River State. It will never work.
So that was Wike back in the day, advising Ambode to resist Tinubu and telling us that it's categorically against godfatherism. So fast forward to where we are now. This is one of the nails that went into the coffin of Fubara. The guy is not suited to politics. He wants to have out-chest Wike. That's what he seems to be wanting to do. You know when you puff your chest out and the other guy puffs his chest out? So he wants to out-puff chest Wike, and he's doing it this way. What's this?
Let me say it here. Those group of men who claim that are assembly members are not assembly members. They are not existing. I want it to be on record. I accepted that peace accord to give them a floating. That's the truth. There was nothing in that peace accord that's a constitutional issue. It's a political solution to a problem. And I accepted it because these were people that were eating in my house. These were people that have helped pay their children's school fees when I wasn't even a governor. So what is the thing there? Yeah, we might have a division, but I believe that one day we could also come together. And that was the reason I did it. But I think it's according to a time when I need to make a statement on this thing so that they understand that they're not existing. The existence is me allowing them to exist.
Yeah, there it is. Talk less and listen more. That's the advice. Here is Wike now taking the victory that he has now taken over, celebrating the victory that he has now taken over Fubara.
Let this honor him and for the room, yes.
This man, you are promoting, you have to block people behind you now.
I don't understand.
I'm not the only cameraman here now. Flash your man. You're blocking us with that flash. I got it.
By the authority vested in me as Chancellor of the University of Calabar, and in accordance with the provisions of the University Statute, I confer on you the honorary degree of Law Honoris Causa, with all the rights and privileges attached thereto. Congratulations, my brother.
So there it is right there. So that's Wike getting the prize for his victory over Fubara. You know, they say to the victor, the spoils. I'm sure you've heard that phrase before. Exactly, you've heard me say it. To the victor, the spoils. You know, to whoever emerges victorious, all of the things in contention there comes into their possession and influence. So if I come into your community and I savage and ravage your leaders, then I oversight then that community. So to the victor, the spoils. And here is Wike now giving thanks.
I never know you honor me this way. I never know you will honor me this way. You honor me this way. Thank you. Hallelujah. You will honor me this way. I never knew you will honor me this way. Oh. I never knew you will honor me this way. You honor me this way. Thank you.
And there it is right there. And it was even actually Fubara that came up with that track, that Day Your Day song. He was the one that put it into the public consciousness. Day your day, make I day my day. Nobody trouble, nobody. So if only he had dayed his day. And Fayose did warn him that, look, don't put your eyes into things you are not meant to see. Sit there like a good little boy, steal your own little dollars, and be guided by your superiors. But he didn't want to day his day, so now his day has dayed him. So there it is right there. So let's go on from there to what constitutes empowerment in Kogi State. You know, as shocking as a lot of things that we see come out of Nigeria shocks, this one especially, I'm not even sure if it's shock. Maybe it's flabbergasted. I was flabbergasted by this one. This one knocked me for 6. It's unbelievable. Watch this.
Congratulations.
Bekeneko, Betayako, Neri, Etipelibe, Camera low. Mẹ́wàá náà pé.
Mẹ́wàá. Orí obìnrin, ọ̀rẹ́ mọ̀ ẹ̀ máa pọ̀. Wọ́n á nù gbá.
Yes, do not adjust your sets, and no need rubbing your eyes. You are seeing what you are seeing. Yes, what you saw on the screen was actually what you did see. That is what constitutes empowerment in Kogi State. So there is some local functionary giving what essentially is some form of a palliative empowerment to the populace of that state. But what was it? It was tire for a motorbike. So that's offensive enough, but that's not sufficiently offensive enough It was even one tire, not even two, but one. So that is what constitutes then empowerment, Kogi State style. So there it is right there. It's unbelievable some of the things we contend with in that country. It's unbelievable. As unbelievable as that one was, this now next one somewhat shocking. Watch this.
Nigerians, we are very, very wicked to ourselves. I just found out today that despite the price reduction in petrol, transporters did not change the price of transportation. How wicked are we to ourselves? Tomorrow, what they say now, government. I just heard it and it's so painful. So prices of petrol came down and you didn't deem it fit to reduce the cost of transportation for your fellow human being. And they say, and we say that it is government that's our problem. No, we deserve the kind of leaders that we are getting. It is a very wicked thing to do. It is a very, very wicked thing to do. So it means that even if tomorrow the prices of all of these commodities go down, some people will still maintain status quo, the old prices. Tell us how we can move forward with this kind of heart. Continuously trying to exploit other people and exploit the situation. Somebody go they do your own for top. You where you did bottom, you go they do your fellow person. And we say now government be our problem. We have a very long way to go. I just heard it and I thought, no. That is wickedness. At this point, let them increase the price of the petrol so that we know that we are paying high price of transportation. How can the price come down and you did not change the price? And you say that it is the government that is evil? You are the one that is evil. When I well done, enjoy your weekend. And share this to all those evil people. Bring down the price of petrol. If the price has gone down, you have no business keeping the transportation cost high. It is pure wickedness. Happy weekend.
Yeah, that lady is right. Nigerians are very wicked. They're very greedy. I'm not even sure if wickedness is the right adjective. I think they were a very wicked, a very greedy bunch. You know, I'm very criminal minded as well. You know, the first thing to think of then is how to exploit people in any given situation. Is how do I exploit? That's just the natural instinct of the Nigerian. Let me play you one last clip and then we kick off a conversation somewhat. I think I've got people assembled now. So let me play you one more clip. This is a very dark man speaking to the Natasha Akpoti narrative. Watch this.
Akpabio said, my ways will make good movements. Senator Natasha Akpoti alleges. What I'm about to say now, a lot of people know if you talk am. But because I'm a very dark man, I go talk am and nothing will happen. You understand? Now, Senator Natasha, with all due respect, if this is what you have been holding on to, if this is what is making you go to the UN, going to Sky News, going to all those international bodies to go and see them suspend you, then I'm sorry, you are killing the voice of the girl child that might be a victim of the real sexual harassment tomorrow. Take it from me. This whole thing now don't go beyond you and Akpabio. It goes beyond the people who will suffer in future. You came with that big allegation. We were expecting some reasonable evidence that will point the hands to him directly. First of all, you talk say Akpabio, your husband was around. Akpabio thought say he won't knock you. That was consensual. You seek your consent. Now you say your ways will make good movement. This is why you have been going to UN and all those things. So let's just say you people go to court now. As you don't carry defamation, you carry sexual harassment case. Let's say you go to court. And you now said they put Akpabio for docket, they put it for docket. You come to say, Akpabio said, my ways will make good movement. Akpabio now said, I did not say it. Now the onus is on you to prove. So where is the evidence to prove this? Because you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt now. Do you understand? Like I said, this thing goes beyond you now. And Akpabio, let's take it to a man and a woman now. Let's take it to a man and a woman. And to all of us men, because I follow. All of us will follow the ginger. They support this Natasha now. Understand something today. Because from this revelation now, just make me just start to the thing go on the other side. And my thinking is valid. If she cannot bring any proof now, and I empower this thing, the way we don't empower them like this, tomorrow a lot of men will suffer. Understand it. How would they suffer? Tomorrow now, one oga, one manager at the office, because him and one secretary get problem, or in second, the one where follow the manager, they get problem. If you can carry sexual harassment tomorrow, come talk. And same way you people did not ask for proof for this one. Now, so because I don't empower that character now, women will take advantage of them. And you know, women, a lot of them act with their feelings. They don't care sometimes. So a lot of men will be victim of this tomorrow. Understand it. And like I said, if this is what Senator Natasha has been using to go up and down, then she's actually killing the voice of the girl child. Because tomorrow now, another man come out, come talk, say this thing happened, even if the person they talk true. Even if the person they talk true. Some people will thought, no, be so Senator Natasha do. A serving senator with her connection and her influence. When it reach time to bring evidence, she starts to talk left, they talk right. Because now it's beginning to look like a joke. A lot of people will not say it. Plenty of people will get time for mind to talk. They don't talk on because they know what made they insult them. But of course, very dark man does not care. You people cannot even do anything at the end of the day. You know how many times they don't try to cancel me for this country where they no fit. Now, I watch different of your interviews. Now, chair matter, seats matter. Now, I come out you. I don't watch 1 or 2 interviews where you're talking sexual harassment. Now, I make them pursue you. Say because you complain on sexual harassment. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Like I said, it goes beyond Akpabio and Natasha now. Now, the problem where they go follow this thing now we don't talk so. And make I still with the people where they talk, she will take the proof. She does not need to post the proof online. She will take the proof to court. Once you bring your matter to the online court, you have to follow it with evidence for the online courts to see. Anything will make you don't talk them online, you don't use media, take publish them. Publish the evidence you have. Publish them. Why you want pity Akpabio? Why are you pitying him? Post everything. Let everybody see what the Senate president is. Unless if you don't have, unless all these accusations are false accusations. I say another news say they don't recall you. They need to recall you. They need to actually recall you. They need to recall you. And all these sentiments, all this follow matter because me self they guilty of this thing. That's why Ginger and Natasha. This now they come there like Akpabio, man, woman, please get the fuck out. Peace and love, don't play.
So there it is right there. Not often do I agree with that guy, but in this instance, I think I do. It's just ridiculous. So you come and you made all this big splash in the media space, running up and down, any and everywhere there's a camera. He did this and he did that. So where is the proof now? He said my bum looks nice. He says I have a nice behind. Or what does that even mean? What's this woman doing? You know, she's not really suited for that parliament anyway. Under no circumstances must she be allowed back. It's just beyond. And that very dark man is right. It's a real disservice to women that are actually going through actual real harassment situations. She has diminished their narrative now with this silly little skits that she's just done. So that's a very dark man on Natasha Akpoti there. I think that's sufficient enough. Let's play the Kegite music, kick off the conversation. Where are they? So let's play the Kegite music, kick off the conversation. Just if I can find them, and there they are, the Kegites.
Only water, only water, where they see ma. You don't come home. náìdó.
ẹ kú ní náìdó ẹ jẹ́ padà sílé kájọjọ.
Oró kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Ilé sódìyà kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Chief Wike kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùdódò jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Olúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosoname ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodunke ẹyẹ rẹ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
And there it is right there. Ikuko Nerio Agbeche may death have nothing to do with us. Amen to that on behalf of myself and you, my friends. Joining us the star, always a delight. Our work piece right there, and OG of the platform. There's Jide right there. What is still doing awake this time of the morning? There's a Royal right there, a real delight, and that is Zeta. So an eminent cast. Let's put it that way, an eminent cast. So there it is. It's somewhat of an unusual session tonight, but we go with what we have. We kick it off, start it off with Jide, just because he's that far away in Nigeria. Jide is ready. How far? Oto Jometa.
Woman.
Ejawati is not coming here.
No.
Yeah.
I've been busy for a while. I thought we discussed some things the last time we spoke. So I've been busy. That's why. But I do follow up with the program. In fact, sometimes it will be paining me like, I should just join immediately. And
when somebody is talking nonsense, you want to go come back.
In fact, but on this Natasha case, I remembered when Baba and Rational Mind they were having a go on this discussion. I was really pained. So, but I want to say good day to everybody on the panel. It's a beautiful one again being with you again. So, woman, where do I start? Again, I wanted to ask. Hope you are hearing from Baba Janle Koko and King Emeka. It's been a while I had those voices on this program as well.
Janle Koko, I hear from, maybe not so much Emeka. Now you mentioned him, I'll probably phone him tomorrow. But Janle Koko, I hear from him frequently. He follows regularly. He'll join us just when the moment opens again.
Okay. So, if I may start with the Natasha case. For me, from the beginning of this discussion, from when it happened, I've always asked that question, where is the proof? Because the truth of the matter is a lot of men have been destroyed by this. I have a colleague of mine at the office that almost fell a victim of this, just because he has a female person that reports to him, and this person likes, when you have this lackadaisical attitude to work, and she's always taking sick leave. Today she's pregnant, tomorrow this, tomorrow that, and the man and my colleague, who is the inventory manager, then insisted that anytime she wants to take or give a doctor's report, it must be from any of our hospitals that are on our HMO package. And that was where the problem started. Because when she gets there, those ones won't give her they won't give her the sick leave. So she started framing more issues around the sexual harassment for this guy. So it was just by the grace that he was saved. Though the girl is out of the system now, they have to force her out of the system after she did the same thing to somebody else. So the truth is this: many men have been victim of this. Even top guys like footballers have been victim of this. They lost their career, lost their money, lost everything to this. So for us to actually accept whatever she has to say, she must give us a proof. And a proof, something as simple as a screenshot of a WhatsApp message between you and this person, a text message from this person that is verified, that is from his phone number, and things like that. A video call, a voice call, and we can say, okay, this is the person talking. But if she has none of that, I'm not buying it, not even after we know what she has been.
But if she does have any of that, she would have presented it already, I suspect. Because yeah.
One man, that is my view of the whole matter, and that's why I don't trust her. Because if you can go to the extent of, you don't mind shaming the whole country, going to all these international platforms to make all these false accusation and bold claims.
Does it surprise you? Does it surprise you just how hard she's going at it? Like you said,
that is
she was on DW, which is the German network. She was on Sky News, which is an international platform, on BBC. I mean,
yes.
what's going on?
She was in
and in all of those places, the story changes ever so slightly,
Exactly. So for me, the desperation at which she's pursuing the case everywhere, she's no longer doing anything in Nigeria because she knows that she won't get the result here. So she's trying to, force the hand of these people to come to a negotiation table to say, okay, keep quiet, stop spoiling the country's name, you will come back to the house and things like that. That's what she's trying to do. Because I believe if Natasha, with all the effort she's putting into it, if she had the slightest proof, she would have destroyed Akpabio by now. She would not hold back in releasing this proof for the kind of woman she is. So for me, coming from her, antecedents, what she has been doing in the past, the kind of people she has accused, her husband, she has accused her husband, accused so many people. Videos are now surfacing because people too are now digging into her past. Videos are surfacing of how she took the husband away from the first wife, what she did, how she
Somebody sent me that clip earlier on today. I was going to play it.
Yes.
If I started on time, I would have played it. Maybe I'll play it tomorrow.
Yeah. So how she blackmailed the man to get him, how she broke the marriage and all those things. So you see, I begin to see that we Nigerians, we are too sentimental. And when we listen to things, we don't listen with trying to look at the facts. But everybody, the main thing is they hate Akpabio because Akpabio works with the president. So they have to transfer the hatred they have for the president to Akpabio. So whatever, even if somebody says tomorrow that Akpabio is not a Nigerian, Akpabio is from Germany, and we can see that Akpabio is in Nigeria, they fly with it without verifying. That is where we are in this country. And it is actually those headless mobs, like Madam Zita used to say, that are pushing the narrative. And I'm sorry for them. I'm sorry for them. From the Natasha case, the other one that seems like the Natasha case is the Fubara case. And it is also sentiment. Because the question I ask myself is this: before we judge, should we ask ourselves what should the president have done differently, or how should he have approached it? If the president folds his arms, this is the consequence of folding his arms. Fubara gets impeached, then the whole of Rivers State goes into flame because his people will not take it. The militants will fight. It will become tribal fight, and everywhere becomes clumsy. Then it will be out of control for the presidency. That is one. If Fubara does not get impeached and the president folds his arm, let's say the people in the House of Assembly are not pushing for any impeachment. Let's assume. Then what the president is indirectly telling all other governors is that you can rule your state with 3 House of Assembly members, pass budget with 3 people, run the state with 3 people, disobey the Supreme Court order, and you can even go ahead as far as demolish the House of Assembly with no consequence. You are God because you are the governor. He withheld the salary of the House of Assembly members for 1 year, 7 months. He has not paid them. And then any other governor can repeat it. So what is the consequence? He folds his arm because he doesn't want Nigerians to talk. What would that have led to? It will have led to total chaos. Every governor will have done it. And then the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the land, becomes a toothless a court. And we must not forget the responsibility of the arms of government. The legislature is to make laws. The court, which is the judiciary, is to interpret. The executive is called executive because they are to execute the law. They are to enforce the law. So the presidency is enforcing the law. Now, if the other thing that he should have done is call all parties, try to mediate, try to do this, he has done that. And you played what Fubara just said now. Before we started, you played it. And he said he just agreed to those conditions because he wants those guys to float. So invariably, he is trying to kill that arm of government and say they do not exist. That alone is an impeachable offense. Where in the Constitution, because those that are asking these questions now, where in the Constitution does it say that the governor has the power to destroy the House of Assembly? Fubara said in that video, saying that they exist because of me. I make them exist. This is a arm of government that should be independent of the other. A arm of government that should serve as a watchdog to the other. Where in the Constitution is the governor empowered to do that to the legislature? People are not asking that question. Now, he has done it. He did not pay them. He locked them out. And people are quiet. Nobody's talking. And the president has called them to settle things amicably. He still did not. So now, the only option is state of emergency. Somebody now said it's not constitutional. I had to go and read from what is state of emergency to what the Constitution says about it. State of emergency simply states that it's a situation when the country is in danger or there is an imminent danger or disaster, where the government has to suspend all normal constitutional procedures to gain control, to regain control. Now, Fubara is part of the constitutional procedure, being a governor. The House of Assembly are part of it. Yes, if you continue to read that law, 305, it does not say that the president has the power to remove the governor. But at the same time, it does not say the president does not have the power to remove the governor. Not even when the governor and the House of Assembly are the major players causing the problem. So how do you settle this problem? How? Why is it that people don't ask intelligent questions before they just come and start making unnecessary postulations, unnecessary? I'm disappointed. I said it once on this platform that the likes of Falana, they are dropping the ball seriously. And Baba was saying that I should not say that those people should just keep quiet. They should zip it. You have children in the house and they are fighting on a toy.
Jide,
And
two
you
more
want
minutes. Two more minutes so I can move
to
around. Yeah.
sorry, let me just land it. And they are fighting on a toy, and you want them to stop and learn that, oh, you can play with this toy without fighting. Then you seize the toy, and they learn for the period of seizure, and you give it back to them. Then they can play with it without fighting. That is what the president is doing, suspending all players. You guys go and think, go and have a rethink on your actions. Then when that thing, you see that I am out of power for 6 months, it might even be extended if we don't settle this thing. Then these guys come together and they settle it. But somebody like Obasanjo that removed the governor of my own state with this same state of emergency, there was no riots, there was nothing, there was no bombing, there was nothing in my state. It was just because Fayose was not in support of Obasanjo. Obasanjo removed Fayose with this state of emergency proclamation or declaration. Removal. That same Obasanjo is condemning Tinubu that suspended to say, okay, guys, go and cool off. I see Nigerians, and that is why Nigerians are just unthinkable. So let me leave that. I just want to touch on the smelly Lagos thing.
Yeah, just a little. Yeah.
Yes, Lagos smells because of the people living in Lagos, not because the government in Lagos don't have a structure. These people are trying. They even signed a deal with my own company so that they will be burning all this plastic waste in the kiln so that we can use it to produce cement. That is how far they are going. But every day, people flood into Lagos in their thousands. They have no place to sleep. They sleep under the bridge. They sleep on bus stop. These people do open defecation. These people throw waste everywhere. Even people that have houses in Lagos dispose waste. On internet now, Lagosians now are going now, recording people. If you maybe I will send some of those videos to you. You will see people they are recording, carrying bags. They want to go and dispose waste.
I've seen arrests being made of people dropping litter and then suddenly somebody pounces on them. Maybe they have some agency that's been put out to do that.
Now they are
I've seen it a lot in
recording.
Lagos. Yeah.
Now they are recording and they are harassing them. Citizens now are recording and harassing them. Lagosians are recording and harassing them. You will find it difficult to believe that the same people creating the problem are the ones complaining about the problem. Lagos has Loma, as these people, they sweep the floor day and night. And you will still find people throw waste on the road. So for me, we cannot just be irresponsible and keep blaming the government, saying the government does not have structure. These people are trying, but they are overwhelmed because our people don't have the right mentality. That is my own submission. Let me pause here.
All right, brother. Good to have you back today. So thank you today. Let's go on from you, Chile, to Zita if she's ready for us. Zita, you're up next. Zita. All right, let's go to Royo. There you are. What are you eating? You're probably on those Scandinavian diets now. Is it fish?
No. I told you I'm in the US.
Oh, right. Oh, you've been there for a while now.
No. I came last week. I came for spring break.
All right. Why don't you just move there? You clearly prefer life in America than anywhere else.
Where did you get that one from?
Because you seem to gloat every opportunity, every window that opens here in America.
Yeah, because that's where I actually have my doctor.
Okay.
My main doctor is in the US. No matter what any other person do anyway, I will still have to go and see my hospital in the US. So that's why. Okay, which topic you get today?
We were talking about, you know, this tour that Sheikh Tinubu is doing in the north, going there to, yeah, and I think it's a political naivety, by the way. So during this Ramadan period that is in the north, and then of course when we've seen Peter Obi do it as well, sitting on the floor pretending to eat rice with the talakawas and whatnot. But he's going there and he's handing out all these nylon papers of rice and whatever for Ramadan. But then on those nylon papers are images of his father and himself. So essentially some form of politicking. And the North now, they are coming out in criticism. It says Sheikh Tinubu's food sharing in northern Nigeria is degrading and insult to our legacy. So do you think it's a political faux pas, or are they just trying to, leverage that? Yeah.
First of all, I have said this here, and I will say it again. Nigerians did not elect Sheikh Tinubu. He should shut the fuck up. He's just the presidential son, and that's it. He's going too far. On the contrary, I will say, why don't the Northerners tell their people not to accept it? If they are actually angry. That is true. Secondly, if Sheikh Tinubu wanted to do something like that, he would have done it through a Northerner. People don't know how to do things, but they want to do things.
If he was doing it on humanitarian grounds,
no.
But if he's doing it as a political leverage,
then
he has to put his face to it now.
No. See, there are something they call preparing yourself for something. I think it's only very few Black people know how to do that. Over the years, you grew up, you aspire to be something, you start preparing yourself towards that. Let me tell you something. It's not today that Sheikh Tinubu's father was a wealthy man. And it's not today that that boy buy very exceptional, expensive things. If he wants to join politics and he believes he can be in politics, he would have started long ago. That was what his father did. It became difficult to sweep the father under the carpet when his time came. It became too difficult because he mingled and tangled and helped and romanced and over the years. Because he prepared himself and he had a vision for himself. Even when he was getting very old and sick, according to some people who like to laugh at people's sickness, he was still holding on to his dreams, aspirations. And there he is in Asorok. Like him, hate him, he won. He's there. And there is absolutely nothing anybody can do about it. But now, let me say this. If Sheikh Tinubu has wanted all those wristwatches that he used to wear, some of them are $130,000 US, he would have been using those money then to be doing Sarah for Northerners. They would have been seeing him now as a friend. Nobody would have accused him now of trying to play politics or trying to insult them. They would have said, well, the father is a president. He came to show us his face and his father's face. But he has been doing it over the years. Let me tell you something, one man, you people have to understand. Most of you have not had interaction, lived in the North. Northerners are one kind of different people from other regions in Nigeria. They're quite different. They're not like the South. Honestly, sincerely speaking, they're not like them. In as much as some people want to demean them, they are not like us. They are not. So Sheikh Tinubu has to be very careful. I don't even know why the father is not holding his tail. He should stop wagging his tail. Nobody is interested. If he wants to be in politics, he would have started early.
Is it not the case that he's also leveraging this window of his father to build his own political base?
You don't leverage a window. He would have leveraged that window because the father had always had that window. That window has been there, but he's blind to see it. That window has been there. For Obi, you said that used to go now and sit down and begin to eat Sarah with children. That window has been there for Obi during the time of Abacha. That's what it is.
It's the hypocrisy of it, isn't it?
Yes. You have to see yourself further than where you are standing. Human beings should learn how to see themselves further than where they are standing. Where I am today, if I tell you where when I saw myself here, you won't believe it. Well, of course, they will call me a witch. You have to learn how to see yourself further than where you are standing. To avoid anybody saying, hey, this is hypocrisy. Hey. Every member of my family, everybody that knows me growing up as a child knew I will land here. So he should stop that drama, please. He's distracting us. We are not interested. Next topic, Biko.
Madam Zita. Madam Zita, sorry. I just wanted to point out that Seyi Tinubu has always had a foundation. He has always visited the North. He plays polo there. He's like a friend to almost all the children of most of these northern districts. So, and he does this even during the COVID. Yes, he did all these things. Went there to share.
I don't believe you.
I'm telling you now. You can verify.
Let me tell you.
You can verify, but I'm just pointing that out.
Please, let me clarify. You know, when I speak, some people jump in. I try to clarify myself. As I said before, I said humans should see themselves further than where they are standing. And I said in those days, when he buys those expensive wristwatches, the window for his father has always been there. In the news, Seyi Tinubu has not carried camera. The father is a well-known man. I grew up to knowing politics in Nigeria. I know Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So he has not carried camera. That's what I mean by seeing yourself further than where you are standing. Put up a foundation. Take pictures with those children. Take pictures during the Salah. Sit down with them. Visit them, make noise about it, pepper carry him. That's what I mean by seeing yourself further than where you are. The whole Nigeria would have known. The whole Northerners wouldn't have seen it as an insult. So if he's having romance, well, I don't know what to mean because I heard that guy is very rude, but let me not continue in that lane. One man, please. Next
Zeta, the question is, where was Seyi Tinubu 10 years ago?
That is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but Jide answered that question.
Hold on.
It's always had this.
Hold on. How old is Seyi Tinubu today?
Let me check. Carry on.
Check and reply. Seyi Tinubu just started all this doing it recently, like 4 or 5 years ago.
It's
At most 5 years.
It's 39.
If you remove 10 years from his age, as 29, nobody knows about Seyi Tinubu. All this is doing just started probably 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, at most. He's doing beyond his, I don't know, probably his campaign. I won't say he's doing beyond his campaign for his father. You know, his father will not take that marathon he did that last 2023. So probably he's the one covering for his father.
And what is his picture doing there if he's campaigning for his father?
Probably that is his own way of campaigning. I don't know, but he should just.
I think it's doing two things. It's campaigning for his father, obviously, but it's also trying to build its own political base.
That's
You
not
know,
the way to do it.
One man, that's not correct. I feel, I said he has a foundation. He's using that foundation now to campaign for his father. So
What is
people
his
that
future
don't
doing
know,
there?
no, people that don't know his father know him. So if he puts his people that have known him since that, no, I'm just saying, people that know him since the days of COVID, that he has been going there, giving them things, would know that, okay, this guy has been our friend since all this while. So if he's attaching his father's picture to him, maybe that might be an influence. I think that is what he's trying to do. But from what you said, I see reason in what you are saying, Madam Zita. Maybe in the past you have been quiet, you've not been showing it on camera. Why now? I get what you are trying to point out. But for me, I know Tinubu he has been sponsoring football games, sponsoring his son. Yes,
If
in
he
the north.
wants,
I
if he
know of that
wants,
very.
if he wants that thing to make effect, if for the loud down.
Yeah, there's no
If
how.
I'm doing
See,
something
there's
like
no how,
that,
Madam Zita.
all right.
What?
Hold on
Sorry,
for Zita.
let me just say something. There's no how, Madam Zita. What he's doing now, as you will see those people encouraging it and liking it, if you watch their videos, you also see some sets that will dislike it. So it's is it not Lamido that said it? What's his name? Nasser, which state governor was that? Former state
Jigawa.
governor. So, Jigawa. So there will always be people that will criticize. But for me, I know that Tinubu's son has a foundation. He has a polo club. He has a football competition that he sponsors in the north for a time for some time now. And I know that I know of that came to my notice was during COVID that I really knew of it. I don't know, maybe I started before then, but that I know of during COVID. So that's what I'm just trying to say.
okay.
All right, Zita. Let me take you to let me take you to this space. This
Natasha.
gentleman. You want to go to Natasha? I think she's done actually. I'm going to send you a clip after this session that documents the history of this girl. It's quite. She used to be a wild one. Probably still is a wild. I think this is the last throes of a runs girl. This is her last hurrah our last game as a runs girl. That woman, man.
One man. Do you want me to tell women listening on this platform the honest truth?
Please do. They need to hear it.
Okay. Sexual harassment cannot be proven unless you want to prove it. Let me repeat. Sexual harassment can never be proven unless you want to prove it as a woman. And when you want to prove it as a woman, it somehow be seen as a setup. Why do I say this? A woman is adored. No matter how beautiful or how ugly she is. We are created in a certain image that somehow, somewhere, a man will like something about us. It might be our eyes, it might be our hair, it might be our nails, our finger, the way we walk, the way we laugh. Even sometimes the way we get angry, things are wild about us. Men fall in love with it. And now what happens is verbal. They start making advances to you. Normal thing between a man and a woman, more especially when it is CA, consensuous adults. It's left for you to say no or yes. But if the woman pushes so hard that you notice that it's not affecting you in several ways, that's when a woman will want to prove it because she wants to fight back. In case if this thing is going to destroy my career, in case this thing has to give me a bad name, That's when they take pictures, they call witnesses, they keep papers, they call people to listen to when he calls him and those things. Those are the proofs. That's when you want to prove it. On normal circumstances, it cannot be proven. That's why somebody will ask you, what are you doing in a hotel with a man? It looks odd, right? But a friend of you will call you, oh, let's go to a normal place and have a drink. And before you know it, you are being harassed. And somebody will ask you, what are you doing in a hotel with a man? Where else does that person want you to sit out with the person? In your bedroom? So, but this is the way it is. So I do not know what she is trying to prove after she cannot prove it. After she didn't want to prove it. I don't understand. If she has anything on her Akpabio or anybody in the Senate, she should show us. But already helter-skelter painting Nigerian men as people who go about harassing. Just like I heard a video you were showing, women actually make this thing nonsensical. Honestly, because at the end of the day, it becomes something that is normal, an abnormal situation. Most times women make it normal. This thing she's doing, the day a real case will come out now, people will say, is it not how Natasha came here and run everywhere and did not prove anything? Leave those women. Remember, sexual harassment is the easiest thing you can accuse a man of. That look real. But you got to prove it. So before you start that your accusation, make sure you have your facts, your evidences at hand. Arrest my case. Next topic, please.
All right, brilliant. So to what's on the screen then, maneuverings around the SDP party. A lot of course, political recalibrations going on now. El-Rufai famously now moves to the SDP, and Prince Adebayo now feeling the need to defend his position. Because he was the public face of that party up still till now, but going forward might not be. He's saying you have to, if you are joining the party, you have to go through some orientation, something or the other. What are you making of the goings on with this SDP narrative and the defection generally?
Okay, you see, I respect Prince, but that question he is asking, that's the question he would have asked himself. From the one where those people started saying they're deflecting to his party. He welcomed them. I remember what he put out. Just like LP. You don't do things like that. You don't do this like you have the value of your party and you see people jumping into your party. You think they are coming to make you the president. Is that what he was thinking? Oh, really? That's actually a joke. Then we come with their...
but how would he position himself though? Because we're in that season now. We're at the starting blocks of another round of elections. People are recalibrating, reforming alliances, moving their interests. So, and his party, of course, will be impacted. So what does he do? He cannot ask them not to come, and he cannot fight them as they are coming in. But how would you suggest he positions himself?
It depends on his influence, because they have already started their habit of changing secretary and changing chairman and changing. And if they succeed in doing that, they will put their own people who will declare them presidential candidate in the next few months. So I don't even know what to say, because from the one he would have said, hey, yeah, you are welcome, but this is the way we do things here. That's how people behave. You are welcome. The moment they say, I've deflated to FDC, I've deflated, a little interview, you say, I'm just hearing that deflecting to our party. None of them have consulted me. And I really need to sit down with them and ask them what they want. Because somebody coming to your party wants something. You can't jump into somebody's party. I hope what happened in LP will not happen there. Honestly, sincerely speaking. Because these worms that we call politicians in Nigeria, they are unedible worms. They keep eating us. So whether it's SPD or SWY that are running into, it's still the same people. I don't know how their ideology will change if they're in SPDC. I said it when LP was jumping about. People almost threw stones at me. It's these same people that worms. So I don't know. He has missed it from the first stage. They are there now. They have been registered, right? They're SDP. So let's fold our hands. Keep a bottle of champagne for those who drink champagne. I don't. I'm going to keep my whiskey and wash them. Any other topic?
All right, finally, just a brief one on this girl that came out to say that Lagos smells and the Lagos state government feeling the need to explain themselves. So what are you making of the narrative of that girl that did that viral video calling Tinubu a terrible president?
Okay, let me tell you something about a state, a town, a city, or a village. It depends on where you're living. I told you people here that the people that did, what do they call it, train 2 of Dangote, that did, what do they call it? I've forgotten. There is a Norwegian company. I have a friend there. When he came back, he was telling me that they said there is no light, there is no electricity in Nigeria, that he stayed where he stayed. Throughout his 3 weeks, they never took light. And you know what I asked him? Can you please tell me where you stayed in Lagos? Because it's different. When somebody says Lagos things, obviously you are telling me where you live. Okay? Because there are places you live in Lagos, you won't even believe it's Nigeria. The same thing with Abuja. So if Lagos stinks, there is a place that stinks. For every city, there are places that stink. Every city in the world, go and check. There are some places that are ridiculous. You won't even believe that that place, some places it might be more, some places it might be less, some places it might be just one spot. But I don't know why cities do that. Or rather, some people refuse to be cleaned up. Just that the truth. Some people refuse to be cleaned up. Because no matter how the government tried to keep that place intact, the moment they turn their back, they litter it. So it's what it is. So if they are responding to her that the city is dirty, let them get it clean. Those places she's complaining that stinks, they should clean it up. Maybe probably where she lives. Those are the places that stinks. But all I can say.
But like Jide rightly said, because I've seen it as well. You know, I think I've shared the anecdote here before. You know, a few years ago, actually, I was in Nigeria, and then we were going to Ondo, and then we decided to take one of these. We went to Jota, went on those vehicles. So there was this woman, and she was eating whatever it is that she was eating, and then she just threw the wrapper out of the window. And you know, I didn't even know until I said it, and I just said to her that you could have kept that, and you know, just what does it cost you to just to put it in your bag and then dispose it at? You should have seen the looks that she gave me. She just gave me this withering look, you know. He just caught me down with the eyes. I just thought, yeah, no, well, I just, you know, he said, oh, yes, thank you. You know, that sarcastic, thank you, sir. And then she just caught me with a withering look. I just thought, well, Nigerians are just, maybe we need an orientation sort of something, some jingle to tell you that, you know, don't be dirty, you know. They're just filthy people, the way we live.
Mm-hmm. It's a class thing. I think that thing is a class thing. Most humans did not. Their standard of living is very poor, so they can tolerate a particular environment. Sometimes when you see a house in Nigeria, you are looking for an apartment, and you see an apartment, an agent has the guts to show you. You begin to wonder if he is okay. You tell him you want a 3-bedroom flat, and anywhere he hears 3-bedroom flat, he say, "Come and see." So it is standard of living. And before you know it, somebody will take that apartment and live there. And will be very excited about it too. So it's standard of living. That's just it. Some people, that's the problem developed and underdeveloped countries have. Developed countries has raised the bar in their standard of living. I keep saying it in this platform. There is absolutely something that is a total no-no. Their government cannot go below that standard. It is
Yeah, but it's even the orientation, it doesn't even, it doesn't take, it's not even a matter of first world, third world, just to realize that keep your environments clean and tidy. You live there now, so what, and then you're walking down the road and then you buy gala and then you throw the thing. You're saying your children are dying of malaria, etc., etc. You buy gala, you throw the wrapper in the drainage system, the drainage gets blocked up, mosquitoes everywhere, and your children are sick, and you are saying it's village people. You are the village people, It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Oh man, I don't know who expects government to clean their environment for them. According to you, it's a habit. If you go to some certain places in the world, you will laugh. There is a trash can, and then you see pieces of trash littered all over that place.
You wouldn't say that in Switzerland, though. They wouldn't. It's like killing somebody dropping litter in Switzerland. Everybody around you would stop in their tracks and say, it's just a mindset, isn't it?
It's a mindset. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. I've been in somewhere in the world where 2 human beings were in the car eating. When they finished eating, they opened the door of their car and pushed the trash on the highway. That's how bad it is. They can't stand their mess with them in the car, but they want another person to stand it on the road. You never see where person used the bathroom finish, walked away without flushing it.
I've seen that, it's quite a thing, and it's not even public. I've seen people do it in their homes.
I'm telling you.
Not even public restaurant or
in
and
their
I'm homes.
Saying, how come you got up and you didn't remember you need to flush it? I mean, but it is what it is. So if she's complaining that Lagos stink, I don't know where she's living in Lagos, but it's not the whole of Lagos that stink. Those people living close to the sea, obviously, if you live close by the seaside, obviously when the tide come, all the dirty wound don't do. Now so the wind will carry and they blow to our nose. It happens in Port Harcourt too. Those people who live by the seashore, those cities very close to the sea.
Those ones always get dead bodies washed up on their beaches, don't they?
It will be smelling because all the dirty way they don't do. When the tide come, it will blow the wind and then.
Is there not a blame for government? Because there's no proper waste disposal system anywhere. They have somewhat the skeleton of one in Lagos, but I don't imagine they have it anywhere else. Certainly in Abuja, they have it because Abuja is relatively clean. but there's no real structured waste disposal system.
No, you do conversion. You don't do disposal. You convert. States like Lagos that have concentration of humans should have been selling man-made manure to other farmers. Since they don't have much of a land to farm, Northerners, all those people farming, they should have been selling man-made manure to them. They would have been converting all those things. They would have had a plant, like in Norway, they have a massive plant where they do conversion. So you crush everything. In fact, sir, that's the easiest way, because you will see people bringing it for a penny. It will become a business. If one Nigeria go now and start that business in Lagos, the whole human beings will put eye on it, because all those things are supposed to be converted. For people who want to put manure in their flowers, in their houses, and garden around their houses, and some little tomato and pepper around their houses, around their compound. Those manures should be doing that job for them, instead of looking for fertilizer. You convert everything, add little chemical to it, and repackage it and sell to them.
All right, brilliant. All right, brilliant. Zinta, let's move it around a bit. Bring in all the other voices that have not yet spoken. Let's go to this. We're going to Oroyo, who was the first one in. Oroyo, if you are listening, by the way, I did call you. Maybe you were not at your system. I feel somewhat sometimes. Oroyo always comes early, but it's not yet. We don't hear often enough from him. So Oroyo, I did call you. So if you want to come back, you can. But as we are with Oroyo, let's go to World Peace. So World Peace, you're up next. The floor is yours. We're just generally chatting. Nothing big impactful in the news. We've circled around Fubara so often, nothing left. But what are you looking at? We're just really opening it up to gist. World Peace. Can I jump? All right. Let's go to Fatai. Fatai.
Hello, Oma.
Babaga director. Twale. Chava. Baba. I mean, is that not the Saleko greeting? Twale. Let me tell you just this little thing. I was with my cousins when I was in Nigeria. This was a few years ago now. And we went to this party. It's not really a big do over there, whatever. But at the gate of the event, you had all these area boys, whatnot. They were, when there's a gathering, they always and as we're going in there, one of them, they were doing all this, all right, sir. And he said something to my cousin that just struck me as odd. He said, Wike, mistakenly born in Nigeria. I just thought, mistakenly born, what does that even mean? All those area boys, man, it's a skill. Somebody should take a camera and do a reality show on area boys. I think it's a sorry, carry on, Jerry.
Oma.
Yes.
Those all those Twilight. This one are for bus stop things now. No, that was not Lagos Island actually. Lagos Island. About kilo shele. I won't go there. I know those will be Lagos Island, but not be those Oraisa. Oraisa is not particularly Lagos Island. Yeah, just normal greetings now.
But that doesn't get money out of you now. It's Oraisa that gets money out of you now.
Yeah, but Lagos Island is not so much Oraisa now. Not so much Oraisa now. It's just crazy, doing crazy. It is not like you can't walk around Lagos Island and they're doing Oraisa. It's not a bus stop thing. Okay, it happens in Lagos generally in the bus stops, but not Lagos Island not be a place like that.
A decent barra, fine barra, decent barra. So it's up market barra,
No, Lagos Island will be fine barra place. Because I look for that place.
You know, I used to, you know, there was a time that I did a year in government college, Eric Moore. No, that wasn't even on Lagos Island. I did, yes, but I used to actually, my mom even used to work on Broad Street. You know, where my house. She used to work there. All those sort of area boys and they say they got smells. One of the smelliest places is that place actually, because they have gutters running even in between their houses. But that Lagos Island, I used to dread it somewhat. They just, it looks like they will stab you at any given opportunity. Those you know, it's
that Wema House is not the close to the beginning of Broad Street Corner. It's not in the is in the beginning now, like off.
Wema House.
Wema House, I think. I think it's the one close to campus, close to. It's not far from there used to be a library, not far from the bus stop where there used to be this public library.
All right, I don't know. You know, me, I'm from Oregon. My mom only used to. You know, back in those days, I used to drop her at school at work, and then I have the car. I have the car for the day. Yeah.
But this building, Babala King and Co, is not far from there. You know, Abi I think it's the one that is on that building. I think.
Yes.
Ajele Street, off Ajele Street, Broad Street, off Ajele Street. Yeah, but on the campus name, that is I think Baba. I'm not sure whether it's Baba. I think it's Baba that.
No, I think Baba is up market Lagos Island though. Baba is up market. You know, Baba is an elite actually. If you know, I'm trying to bully Baba to be a guest. Maybe I'll push him again tomorrow. You need to hear Baba. If you know the fullness of who Baba is, a lot of you have been awe, but carry on.
No, I'm saying I think I heard him one time. He said it's on campus. Those areas, campus area. So it'll be Baba's area now. You know. But anyway,
Mr. Natasha.
Where's your girl of the universe now?
You know, anytime I see her in the comment section, I always think to ask him, where's Oga? You know, I've not seen him anywhere on, maybe it's traveled. Hopefully it's well, you know. I've not seen him. And it's usually one of the first comments that reassures that, you know.
I thought that you people are close knit. You people are calling each other.
You know, for all of the years even that Oga has been here, he's never once been in the studio. You know, most people have their number. I don't have even yours. You have to correct that. But I still have a way to reach you, but I don't have any way to reach Oga. You know, that's just the thing. But
no, I'm saying like your cost to me, the way you people interact, I think you people have each other. It's just the way your cost. But anyway, I hope it's fine.
Yeah. I do. So I think about him anytime I start.
And Princess Rosie, where's Princess Rosie now? You know, there's many people. Where is many people now? There's many people.
Many people. A lot of people are
many people. Many people, you know.
We've had some epic something. So all manners of characters, you know. The good, the bad, and the very ugly. You know.
Where is Saki father now? Where is Saki father?
Well, it's still licking its wounds. 2023 now. I'm sure in the build up to the elections, we have them all back, and then after the elections, they'll disappear again. You know, after 2027, I envisage that the Simon Ekpa's place.
One man.
Bishop. Bishop is. I'm not sure we'll have Bishop back. You know, Bishop doesn't like us anymore for reasons of you guys mocking him too much in the comment section. I've spoken to him endlessly, but he won't. He just, you know, because it's a proud man, and it doesn't take to, you know, those fluffy little comments that you guys make.
What about Emeka?
Oh, Emeka, well, his work, yeah.
Okay. And Baba Jadi Coco.
But he's well as well. I'm going to call both of them now tomorrow. Now you guys have
them to come tomorrow.
It's unlikely that Ajale Koko will come because Ajale Koko is. I think I've said it once before. Ajale Koko is a businessman. He runs an enterprise, so he's down by a staff member. So he's having to compensate. Yes,
he should hire another one now.
Yeah, he should. Ajale Koko is an Ijebu man now. I don't know. I'm just saying.
See, there's something you guys don't understand. We that have companies abroad that employ foreigners, are indigenous, mostly indigenous. It's difficult for you to have when you have an establishment that you have a structure on. When you lose the staff, it's more difficult to get a new one, mostly the indigent, to replace that person because you have to train him. Who want to stay? So what Ajay is facing is a very die-hard one, but you people take it on the lighter ground of no, it's just a working staff. It's not easy to employ staff in a foreign country to work with a foreigner. It's very difficult. It's passing through serious challenges right now. So for him to employ staff.
Have you ever held a dollar before? What is?
No, we use yen here, so I don't use dollar.
Okay, but you've held a dollar before. You've held one before. What color is it?
The light is green, so why are you asking?
No, that's what whether you are indigenous or not, or if you are paying,
it's not a bad pay. It's not a bad pay. It's not a bad pay. It's Africa we looked at. Like what they say, not all money is good money. Some white people don't want to work with you for a long time. As a black man, you don't want to work with you. He would take the nonsense that he would take from his own people. He won't take it from you. There's some correction you tell him, he will quit the next day. Now, not that Jacob have not seen staff, but the problem is they have not seen staff that will work for a long time, that he will train, that can take care of that shop, that will be on his own position and handle his position very well. It's very difficult to what you are saying like that. It's not easy. People will come. It's abroad now that you don't really hold anybody. He will come work today, tomorrow he won't come. He will quit. And that one day he came to work, you will pay him too. It's difficult. Anyway, let me just read.
All right, Matai, back to you. Yeah, good to see you, Prince Daddy. Always a delight. Yeah, come in.
All right. Yeah, thanks. Can you hear me? All right.
We can. You sound like an emotion, though.
No, actually, I'm stationary.
All right. Carry on.
When Madam was talking, I was going to chime in regarding Lagos that stinks, that smells. And I didn't actually I think I walked away from the phone. I didn't hear your response to what the Lagos State's government is trying to, or their response to the lady.
No, they were saying it's a mega city, and they were talking about measures that they are taking to cleanse it up even more. And it looks as though Lagos does smell in parts, not in the whole, but in parts. We can't get away from that. But they're talking about measures that they are taking. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that is true. Mega city. I mean, given the population, I was still claiming 20 million people. A couple years ago, right before Tinubu came to power in Lagos, talking to my brother and his friend, and I was trying to praise Tinubu, but one of the knocks they had was like Lagos smells. Everywhere smells in Lagos. And we're in DI, is it Mary Hotel around there? And it's after I agree with the girl, the lady, Lagos smells. It smells, no doubt. And maybe the new area, I don't know, Banana Island. I haven't been there. Okay, maybe that place doesn't smell. But from expensive, whatever you call it, Keja to wherever, it smells. Okay, and you can say that's a hallmark of a big city. That is true. If you go to New York City, also some part like they have like big rats and some it can be dirty. But overall, given Lagos, I mean, what is the sanitation, structure in Lagos? People pee on the street, just like you give your narrative earlier. People throw trash on the streets. I mean, Come on, I don't think Lagos invests that much money in sanitation, and the people are not that, you know, disciplined anyways to, to keep a plastic bag of pure water in their pocket or in the vehicle and dispose of it at the right place. They don't have that discipline. You have people from all across
Is it
Nigeria
not a
coming to
matter of
Lagos.
it's not a matter of orientation, though. They have not been orientated towards.
Well, see, this orientation you're talking about is the foundation is the school, the primary school. It doesn't matter if you're coming from Abia, Kanu, or wherever you go. You should have that orientation that you don't litter, on the on streets. You don't throw things on. I mean, I don't think we have that. That education comes from the schools. Okay, it comes from the schools. The little children, they don't know any better. They trash. People from different with different orientation background come from across the country. They come to Lagos. They don't respect Lagos. I mean, it's just a dumping ground with 20 million people crammed in that space. I mean, it's bound to smell, no doubt about it. If Lagos they can do something about it, that'd be great. But it has the hallmark of being a smelly place. It wasn't like that before, anyways. It was not like that. Um, it was not like that before. Lagos is not a smelly place. I mean, the place is becoming super congested. Everywhere you go, it's like
My memory of Lagos also, it's not like it's a smelly. But I noticed it the last time I went though. But in my growing up phase, maybe I was just conditioned to it. But I didn't have the thought that Lagos was smelling.
no, it was not smelly. I mean, from Apapa to Body Thomas to Sulere area, it was just you find people, you find dirt, trash around here and there. VI was super clean. Papa was like immaculate. I mean, back in those days. I mean, but now it's become super congested. I'm talking about Papa when it used to be a residential area for like the government people, the people who in Nigeria before VI really expanded and all those places. It was not a splendid place. It was a nice place. But again, Lagos is super congested. They don't have a good sanitation program. I don't think they do. I know they have some private, uh, trash companies or whatnot, but it's just too congested. And the best way to keep a place clean, regardless of the resources, is the orientation of the people. Just like you said, the people must know better. I can't throw a butt of cigarettes on the ground. I can't throw my pure water anywhere. People are just have to be that disciplined and be culturalized to know all the things.
A lot of this flooding that we get in Lagos, it's a lot of it. Not maybe a lot, maybe not a lot. Maybe that's a bit excessive. But certainly parts of it has to do with just the poor, management of waste. They block all of the drainage with food wrappers and whatnot, everything, and then the train spills over, and then you get all this flooding. There's no free flow of
One man, please. Please, Daddy, sorry, please. 1 minute. I'm in Lagos. You see, it pains me when we keep blaming the government. Now the rain is coming. Presently, as we speak, they are opening all drains and they are packing up everything inside so that the water flows. When you see what is in those drains, you will be surprised. You understand? See, people, even if we do orientation, are you going to do orientation for the Agbero that does not even listen to the news, that sleeps under the bridge? If you go to Agege, for instance, along the train line, the rail, if you see the waste left and right, it is created by, you will see all these northerners that are beggars, plenty on that line, doing what? Nothing, just begging. You have Agbero boys that will just see you and say, Baba, oh, Baba, oh, Baba, oh. They are there. You have people that will wait for the train to pass, and once the train pass, they quickly bring all their tokumbo shoe, tokumbo this thing, tokumbo everything, and they will be selling, eating, ringing their bells again. And when the train is coming again, they move. Now the government has to put some law enforcement people there with dogs to be pursuing these people so that they don't even stay on the rail line because of their safety. What does the government want to do? The major
Well,
thing is that our
sorry,
people need,
it's been
see, we
failure
are
of the
used to,
government too.
sorry, let me just land. We are used to iron hand. If it was a military setting, for instance, like when Kai, you will see in Lagos presently, as I tell you in Agege, under the bridge, you will see Kai truck there. All these like Black Maria, if you offend, they will take you and take you away. What else does the government want to do?
All right. Back to you, Prince Daddy. But and then Fatai actually has the floor, but Prince Daddy
Yeah,
was
a few more
interjecting.
seconds.
But
Sure.
I don't really think I agree that Nigerians really they respond to the iron fist more than anything else. But if you are able to, what is more sustainable is if you are able to get it to them that it is in their enlightened self-interest for them to keep their environment clean, that works a lot better than putting dogs on them. I think. Sorry, Karen. I'm sorry. Play summer. Go back out and come back in again. Your device is not connecting properly. Play summer. Sorry. Back to you, Prince.
Yeah. Thanks for time. Ideally, what you said is right. If they can understand the consequences of a litter or a dirty environment. But again, this orientation really starts from schools, and I don't think in the past maybe they did in terms of Jack and Dale or whatever, but I don't think the Lagos State government has done a good job, enforcing uh, the sanitation in that place. I don't think so. There should be signs everywhere and telling people not to dump in English, Yoruba, or whatever Igbo. People need to know, and then they should know the consequences of their actions. But again, at the same time, it's a tough gig in the sense that it's a really congested place. The population is uncontrollable for the most part. People litter on the street, they stay on the street, they dump under the bridge. It's going to cost a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to have a clean environment. That's just the bottom line here. So if the government wants to work on it, they better start right now. But to the young lady's point about Lagos stinks, yes, Lagos stinks. From the expensive Ikeja to wherever, it just smells there.
All right, brilliant. Back to Fatai. Play summer. Click on mute and unmute twice. Your device is still not connecting. Click on mute and unmute twice. That will usually fix it. Sorry, back to you, Fatai. You are a Lagosian, of course, Fatai. I wondered why you didn't leave to the defense and say, you're letting us slam your city.
No, because that conversation, I think, if I actually that conversation from the NYSC lady, I was listening to it when it was going on. I didn't really know where to handle it, so that's why I didn't get involved in the conversation. Because I mean, first of all, you will say, okay, of course, I know your response, Wama. You say like the ladies, but which is not bad, by the way. But I thought that she was complaining about that. Let's call it, if you want to put it in a formal way, that her disposable income was shrinking. So I don't think she was complaining that I think a lot of argument was that she's complaining that she can't buy a crate of egg, or something like that. I think if she wasn't complaining, I think she could buy. I mean, I don't think she was saying she was poor. I mean, if you're thinking in the Nigerian context, if you are thinking to buy a car, you are not poor like that you can't buy a crate of egg or something. I think you were just saying it's becoming expensive, and she's not having disposable income anymore, something like that. I think that was what she was complaining. But I just didn't get involved. I don't think it was. I think it was the reaction to her that made it stay. I think it was said that she was being threatened or something like that. I think that's what made it stay. I think it would just be like okay, even if it went viral, 2-3 days story, and it would be all right. But I think it was the reaction that made it stay, So I don't know. So that's what I would say about that. I think some of the big problem actually is that, I mean, from my perspective, I think is managing things that's coming up. I think is a real serious problem in Nigeria. Actually, there are many things that you just look at it. I mean, you're looking at it like, okay, what is going on? This is not something that you needed this fire to the gasoline to the fire now. It's same thing. It's the same story with this Natasha story. I mean, this is something that Akpabio don't need to let gasoline fall in the fire. When it was started, they could resolve it with his friend. I mean, even you could at that time, she was saying like at her his birthday at his house and okay, that's something you could actually your friend say, she misunderstood me and forget about it. At that time, it wasn't a big claim of sexual harassment. But then it got messy and messy and messy. Okay, what is Akpabio? The point is, what is Akpabio going to win? I think they're saying they are holding a recall, and then they are making the judiciary even look. The more things they are doing, the more they are damaging something. They are making the judiciary look more and more ridiculous. So do I say, okay, go on with, don't recall her. Now it comes back. Okay, I take back. Every time they're always taking back there. Why don't you think well before you give an order? So this is what they are making the judiciary even look more and more ridiculous. What are they going to gain from all of that? The same with the judiciary that was that lifted the word constitutional crisis. What is constitutional crisis? In that you give an order for a specific, is an investigation or whatever it was of the lady. It's not even like close down the Senate building. Okay, I take back my word. Okay, what kind of a judiciary is that? Who is supposed to obey court order? Me. So if Neda, who is the chairman of that ethics committee, if he doesn't have to obey court order, if Akpabio don't have to obey court order, who is supposed to obey court order? Showore, is it only Showore that should be obeying court order? You hold up his passport to waiting for court order. So is everybody, nobody is who is supposed? Okay, if you get an injunction against the president, let's say the president gives an order to demolish your house. So by the standards set by this judge, then you can go to court. Then the judiciary doesn't have the power to stop the president from demolishing your house, because according to his own definition, his own constitutional crisis, that is his own constitutional crisis, separation of power. It shouldn't be stopping. It shouldn't be stopping actions of another branch of government. Okay, so that means you can't stop an action that then you are interfering in the executive branch action. If EFCC want to go and arrest Yaya Bello, used this that time. Is not too far away. Yaya Bello used it when EFCC want to catch him. He went to court, preventive order. So don't come and catch me. So if EFCC, if the court order does not apply to an activity of the Senate, not even the Senate session itself, not even, is a particular specific activity in which she felt she will not get justice, in which she felt a human rights violation will be targeted. It's not even the normal session. Even the normal session of the Senate, it can be stopped. Other countries stopped. So let's say, okay, that is even higher. But this one is just a small committee, disciplinary. She was about to be disciplined. Somebody is going to be disciplined. That's the ethics committee. She is going to end up getting disciplined. How can you say you cannot interfere in disciplinary action? It doesn't matter where. Well, then what is the purpose of court? Then there's no need to have a court. Let's just have a jungle. Everybody use force, punches, physical punches to sort their issues out. If somebody approaches you that my fundamental human right is about to be violated, And thankfully, there is a specific specification for that in the Nigerian law. God bless whoever put it there. Now it's there. You are saying, you're not the first time a judge, is that the first time a judge is hearing the word constitutional crisis? Constitutional crisis, that's not constitutional crisis. Constitutional crisis, you are unable to do your job because the other branch of government has made it difficult for you if I am judiciary, I can't, like now, if you have to send a Akpabio to prison, like, okay, like constitutional crisis, because of his, I don't want to stop the work of the Senate. It's a big decision, but a very strong judiciary will send Akpabio to prison for violation of the court order. He will not care to establish the potency of the judiciary. He will send him to prison, But it's kind of tricky because of the operations of the other branch of government. So that's like a constitutional crisis. One way of it, one definition of constitutional. But it's not that you say, oh no, I shouldn't stop an investigation from going on. That's it. What is it? Look, this thing is very useful. Look, you want to stop a bank, and usually they do this to banks in financial matters, economic matters. They say, okay, bank, stop, freeze this account until the determination of this lawsuit. Okay, why should you freeze a bank? Because it's not the Senate. So if you can't stop this investigation, a committee investigation, why should you be able to stop a bank from freezing? Because the bank is losing money. If the suit goes on for 1 year, 2 years, the woman is frozen. That's a lot of money being lost. So they have to obey you, but other people don't have to obey you. Is there a special? They have two heads.
Fatai, can I ask you a question?
The structure of the judiciary, by the way. So they are destroying themselves because of a matter that don't need to. Everybody advising about you, they are wrongly advising you. If you have a friend, you can talk to your friend. They need to cut their loss. If they really want an advice, they need to cut their loss. What is loss is loss. Well, image, reputation, whatever that is loss. You didn't need to get that far.
The fact is, it will be very difficult for that woman to return to the parliament. She made such a big.
What does it matter? What does it matter? The resources of Nigeria has been so wasted. What does it matter? You are only focusing.
How is the resources being wasted?
One man. This is
part of this.
This is part of this. 1 minute. 1 minute.
She's holding the parliament in abeyance on account of yeah.
One man. This is part of this.
I think they should just expel her anyway.
Okay, expel her now. What does she care about? I mean, if I was her, I would not even go back there because that is very hostile environment. That is inconvenient. That's a very bad environment. She will not be safe. An environment that you cannot get a court. So if she gets a heads up that she was about to be shot inside the Senate, the court is saying I can't stop the Senate. So whatever they are doing in the Senate, if they want to shoot somebody there, the court cannot say, okay, don't start this session yet, though, because I think there's going to be a shooting if you start this session. Is that what they are saying? It's not safe for her to even go there. That environment is not safe for her to go back. Okay, so what is what they are thinking that if they kick her out, that they are punishing her? You're not punishing her, you're only destroying yourself, destroying the image of your organization.
I think she's the one doing the destroying.
How
is
she doing this?
Because she acted in a manner unbecoming. And
which manner? What did she do?
She stood up. She was directed to sit in a designated seat. She insisted she wanted to sit in front of the cameras.
Okay, they want to put the politician
when they tried to move her along.
So they want to put the politician
in the same chamber now. So somebody has to sit in that. Somebody has to sit there now.
Okay, what is the problem? What is the problem with somebody
hold the parliament to hostage?
Can somebody complain?
Well, you can complain in a civilized manner.
What's the problem?
It's not a school playground now. It's the parliament.
She only complained now.
She made a ruckus. She made a riot. She made a scene.
Made worse ruckus. Akpabio himself made ruckus at his own time. What is the problem? Somebody complains. What is the somebody doesn't have the right to complain?
It wasn't a complaint now. It was an obscene demonstration of.
What is obscene?
She was petulant.
It wasn't as bad as Akpabio's own.
It was quite bad. And Akpabio's
as bad as Akpabio, did you see Akpabio video when they moved Akpabio's seat?
Did Akpabio apologize when it was corrected?
Apologize for what? Apologize for what? If he so because Akpabio apologized for Akpabio, why should she apologize? She did anything wrong. She said she wasn't notified. So why apologize for what?
Fatai,
yes.
Please. I think you are
disciplined, you know. And you know.
Look, if you people don't tell these people the truth, you people that will be getting damaged.
And by the way, it was after they referred her to the ethics committee that she then came up with this sexual allegation, which immediately told us all that it was an afterthought. It was an afterthought, yes.
Woman, that is not how it happened. That's not how everyone was told. After that incident was not even what started this seat arrangement. It was after that incident that the Senate people started saying that she's dressing transparent. In fact, she had a lawsuit against that before even she started making the sexual claim. They started abusing her sexuality.
She can't be coming to the parliament flashing boobs now.
Woman.
I don't say it's acceptable for her to be wearing transparent. They have to direct her on how to dress. You can't come to parliament flashing boobs.
Woman, please. I think
that is the problem because she never dresses transparent. She doesn't dress like that. It was actually
Fatai, wait, please. You have mixed up the sequence of the whole scenario, and you are comparing two things that don't look alike. Wait. Let me land, please. Akpabio's case was a case of him relocating his seat because his mic was not working, and they told him to go back to his seat, and he complained, but he later on apologized, and they allowed him to sit where they said he should not sit, and he later on contributed because they now found that his mic was not working. This woman's case was a case of deflection of some party members to the other party, and the arrangement has to be redone. And they did rearrangement. Then she busted out. If she wanted to wait, please. Let me land.
No, you
let
said
me land. I'm trying to tell you the sequence now. Wait now. I'm in Nigeria. Wait, I'm in Nigeria. As it happened. Wait now. We hear it first, okay? We hear it first.
What kind of ridiculous claim is that?
Wait now. Just wait. She went to the house. She went to the house and she sat in a seat that was not allocated for her. And when they asked her to go to her seat, that is the sequence. I'm telling you the sequence now. When they asked her to go to her seat, wait now, the sequence of events, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Just calm down. They asked her to go to her seat.
The fact is she's just trying to bring
she rejected going to that seat. She rejected going to that seat, and they said to her, if you are going to complain, go and complain on that seat allocated to you. That is the only place you can sit where you can be heard. Wait, just wait. You wait now. You are the one that is trying to just wait. Let me just round up. Now, after that,
you are missing.
Oh my goodness. After everything that happened in the house, she raised her voice, shouted this and that and that. She now went 2 days after to a television station, Arise TV. Arise and Brekete. That was where she visited. That was where she now mentioned sexual harassment. It was not sexual harassment before what happened in the house. It was what happened in the house, her seat arrangement, before she now mentioned sexual harassment on TV, on Arise TV, not even in the house. Okay, and when she now came back to the house to what I'm telling you is
5:30 in the morning here. I'm not going to stay 2 hours.
Anyways, no matter what you say, you can't. A court of law cannot sit on any motion that has been moved in the house, and a motion has already been moved for discipline for her to be disciplined, so they cannot sit on it. No court of law will sit on a motion that has been moved in the house. That is the constitution, and that is why the court of law cannot adjudicate on it.
Very nice. First of all, you are complaining about sequence. You don't even put any sequence.
When
The
you
sequence that
finish
you
your
put up is
destiny,
very
add,
wrong.
deal with it.
Madam Zita, what did you say? I didn't hear you, Madam Zita.
Said when you finish your submission, add to it. You end it by saying, deal with it. Because that's the situation now. She just have to deal with it.
No, I probably have to deal with
I think she's boxed herself into a corner, but I carry on after.
What I don't understand is this. I think there is a tremendous lack of capacity for calculating cost. You have something that, look, by the way, let me even go to the sequence he's talking about. What sequence? You say you talk about seat arrangement and then Arise TV. You have missed a whole thing in the middle of it. After the seat arrangement, there is no issue. Akpabio camp started the issue with put the issue in sexual direction. They are the one that started calling her wearing transparent clothes. That's
the wrong sequence.
She had a lawsuit to it now. But one man.
Hold on. That's a wrong sequence, though. Yeah, carry on.
What is wrong? This is what happened now. It's not one man. I say this. It depends on how you want to see this matter. If it's like, look, me, I don't care about. I don't know Natasha. I don't know Akpabi. I don't know them. It doesn't matter. Look, I'm telling you, you're going to spend so much cost over nothing. This is my point. They don't even need to be here. If Akpabio just fix small tiny issue with his friends, it's his friend's wife, as they claim, they are friends, family. They don't need to get here. I'm only trying to make you see where it's not even about Natasha or anything. It's about you never know where these are issues that you never know where it ends. Fix it, even as it is now. Okay, cut your loss and leave it. If they want to continue in the land that you're arguing on, let them continue. Now them go lose. What is the maximum loss you're going to inflict on her? That you want to expel her from the Senate. And so what? Is your Senate? What? So what? Is that the end of life if she leaves your Senate? So you think you have punished her after you expel her from your Senate? What is the punishment there? Is that a punishment? Okay, she will not make money. Okay, that's the only thing happening there now. So what is they are showing that the only thing you will deprive her of money. Okay, so what? We don't need to reduce everything to all this level. What money? Well, that's all. Your loss is bigger than whatever amount of money she will lose from not being in the Senate. The loss up to now, if they put down and calculate their loss, it's too much loss. It's too much loss from something you have nothing to gain from. Akpabio is wasting Nigeria's resources for going after one person that he could just take a mobile phone and call the person's friend and the person's partner, if I wish he is his friend, and close the matter from beginning. It's easy. Close the matter from beginning. No, you don't close the matter. You keep going. Let me tell you the sequence. That is the sequence. They are calling her transparent clothes, doing this. They keep going for her until she was forced to respond. Even this that you are saying, one time you are showing Berekete. This one I'm telling you happened before Berekete. It is after this one when they started attacking her sexually that the Berekete thing happened. These people summoned Berekete. They summoned Berekete to a hearing. This is where World forced her to go on Arise. She didn't still go on Arise, but because they are taking strong step, so every step she is only reacting. They are the ones that are always taking strong steps, and she's reacting.
Fatai, she went to
let him land so we can go into the voices.
They are the ones every time they are taking strong steps. What do you want from her? People are taking strong steps against you, so you should just be looking. Leave something every time you are taking strong steps. The girl will react. If their reaction, everybody will be talking about. Leave it. Leave her alone. It's very simple. It's not complicated. They started the fight. She reacted. Whatever is going on, they may even be flirting with each other. All this one they're asking, bring proof. Look at even this one. This one that I even saw you were showing his video today. It's a guy who claimed they stole money from his website, throw the whole country upside down. He's claiming somebody should bring. Has he provided proof they stole money from his website? I think he later said he was pranking. Why is he? Yeah, okay. I think he's a client of the Jadenyoju who went to hold a press conference on somebody matter. What is the look? We don't need to miseducate the public. Sexual harassment is not about the proof. Okay, sexual harassment is about when you continue. You know, when they say they meet at his Akpabo's birthday. Okay, her story is that is the first time she started. She realized that this is a serious thing. You know, maybe he's been giving him some clues, like, but this one is like, no, let's pretend I didn't hear this. This is what, according to her, it may not even be that a story, or whether a story is whatever, whether you believe a story is legit or is not legit or whatever it is. But are you going to stand in the docket again for a man? Say a man and a woman. Now you go say, she's not. Her story is not true. How do you know? Like Akpabio's one of the senators that is acting like Akpabio's spokesperson. That birthday, that he was everywhere with Akpabio. Was he with Akpabio when Akpabio went to the toilet? Then attach him to Akpabio Yan Shabi, where you be say you know everywhere Akpabio was that day. How could you know when Akpabio went to the toilet, was he there? No, follow it. I said talk the truth. They are doing too much damage to the institutions. Why should you support Akpabio more than the Nigerian institutions? Akpabio is doing so much damage to the Nigerian institution in this matter. The only thing that you are saying is that Natasha shouldn't be talking. But how can you beat a child, according to the popular saying everybody says? How do you beat a child and expect not to cry?
It's not something that can be shut down for time, because it's such a high profile claim.
And now it cannot be shut down. It could have been shut down from the beginning.
It has to run its natural course.
They could have. He didn't need to start. That's my point. He didn't need to start. If you want to fix a problem, you have to.
And she will be the one paying the price, because Akpabio cannot fall for her. So she would be the one that has to fall.
Why not? Why should she pay the price?
Because it's too senior, it's too important, it's too
what senior? They are equal. They are all senators. What senior? What important?
Akpabio is a Senate president. Akpabio is number 3 citizen in Nigeria. Number 3.
According to their whatever, number 3 citizen.
She's just some
Well, number 3 is number 3 citizen in Nigeria. Do you know? Okay, I listened to Wike saying, I was actually saying Tinubu mastermind Akpabio's ascension. So what he got for masterminding is becoming Senate president. It's a voice vote for a state of emergency. So he doesn't even have the skill to get an actual numbered vote for Tinubu. It's a voice vote. So what is the purpose? I can get a voice vote for Tinubu, and I'm not even the Senate president. So this is the value for all of that. Voice vote for something as important as a state of emergency. That's all he got. You people are overblowing people. Everybody is equal. Okay, nobody get too head. Okay, your position might make you. Your position.
You're too sophisticated and too experienced to say that.
No, what of it?
Everybody's never equal.
You don't let me finish my point. Your position might give you important decisions, might put you in a place of importance. It thinks significant, and in societal view, that looks like you are bigger. Okay, but in reality, everybody is the same. Okay, you are just in a position where you have to take care of very serious consequential situations. Even what is this movie? Is it Spider-Man or whatever? I say with bigger price comes bigger responsibility. When you are in more serious positions, you have to even be. That's where it requires even more care. That's why you have to be more careful. It's not only big position doesn't come only with then they call you big chairman, big man. It also comes with big carefulness. Otherwise, the whole society is going to be messed up. You can't be in high position with no care at all. You're gonna mess everything up. With big something comes bigger responsibility. You can't tell me that she's being punished just because she didn't sit down. So because she did not sit down somewhere is the reason she's getting 6 months suspension, no salary, security is removed. She cannot be called a senator. So is that what you're telling me? Everything is a joke. Let's tell
It's
this
about
man the
discipline
truth.
now. You know what they say, the nail
What
that
did they
sticks
claim?
out.
Well, okay, if she slaps somebody there, what did they go to firing squad? If you are giving her this one now, no, because if you are removing her security details, it's close to death threat. Ethical, this is not, it's not a serious something, it's not a joke something now. If you are saying remove somebody's, even Lawan, that maybe half of the country doesn't like, even Lawan was shocked. You don't create a precedent where you just yank people's security details like that. These are very serious in one man. These are very serious in over nothing. You just yank her, say no security for you. What? Akpabio is not paying the security from his own personal pocket. This is public resources. These are public resources. Why all this for something you can just take your phone, call your friend and say, your wife misunderstand me, or that's not how it is, or something, and close it. That time Natasha could apologize to him. Now, how do you expect Natasha to apologize to Akpabio? Akpabio has to apologize to him. Forget African tradition. We have to uphold the value of the elderly people. Okay, it's not when you make a mess everywhere. You know, African tradition. The young must apologize to the old. Okay, but let's be careful from the start. Let's be careful. We don't need this is a place that's not needed to be at. That is being at because of Akpabio and his team. They are the ones every step of the way taking strong action against her, and she's only responding. It is their actions that made her to respond with the sexual allegation, not the seat arrangement. The seat arrangement is not what prompted the sexual harassment allegation. It's the steps they took after that forced her to go and say, okay, what's going on here? If you want to solve a problem, you have to be able to define your problem. If you can't define your problem, you can't solve it. If they can't define their problem, or they are not telling themselves the truth in defining their problem, it will continue. Okay, is it the next? Are they going to give her firing squad? Is that okay? If she doesn't stop now, what are they going to do? Going to give her firing squad? Because the harshest punishment I think I'm saying is that they are going to expel her from the Senate. Okay, how is that how many people, this 10th assembly, how many people are no longer senators? So what? It's not the end of the world. Okay, and she's even citizen of 2 countries. She can leave and go to Ukraine. Okay, even though it's not in war. Ukraine now have if you are from Ukraine, everybody in the world wants to take you. So she can use she can go anywhere in the world because everybody is very nice to Ukrainians in this world today. So I don't know, it's not you are trying to inflict a punishment that has little cost. This is my point. You are trying to inflict a punishment that has little cost. Yet you are spending so much cost. That is the point, woman.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Fatai. So Fatai, let's move it from bring another voice.
Thank you. Yeah, because already it's morning, woman is like, and it's Monday morning. I was just laughing like this man you are showing the video, like who is this one now? This one if this guy was in America, FBI will have visited. He should be grateful that he's in Nigeria. FBI will have visited him for that stunt he pulled. He's asking other people for proof. He should go and sit down, Joe. Thank you, one man.
It's a con man. Anyway, it's a con man. The only jìbìtì gbogbo wọn.
Gbogbo yín kọlẹ bí Natasha ti ẹ ń ṣe jìbìtì gan, ṣé jìbìtì tẹ ojú ti Natasha lọ ni? Àbí he own jìbìtì pass Natasha. Even if
it's from Edo now. What do you expect? They are all guy men there now.
They put him out. That people they spoil their face. They put your mouth for waiting, no concern you. But I leave Akpabio and maybe they even flirt with each other. And the girl comes to say, why you want to take my... You know women now. Maybe that they flirt. I don't know. I'm not saying.
But the thing is, she upgrades her husband every 3 years or so. So maybe she wants to upgrade to Akpabio.
How am I supposed to... What am I supposed to say about that? You know, you can't ask somebody to stay in a relationship if they can't stay any longer. So I don't know. I can't speak to that. You know, that probably is an issue for her husband if her husband finds a. But I don't know. I think it's from looking from outside, very difficult to judge anybody. I don't know, my own opinion. I don't. It's just my own opinion. Everybody, you know, these are subjective things. So it's not something that I personally will get into. Well, I don't know. Some people think it's an issue, but I don't know. For me personally, you know, we all know women that are remarried and married and remarried. There are many women like that. Well, I don't know. That I don't have a say in that. I don't even have a say in their flirting with each other. My own is just that there's too much cost for something that could cost maximum 1 naira. That's all my own. But if they want to continue, I'm not saying it's up to them. Should we be here now? They look the movie now. We go see how it go end now.
Oh, all right, thank you very much. All right, thank you, Fatai. So what piece you're up next? What piece?
Yeah, one more. Thank you so much.
Oh, you are there. All right, thank you. Good. Flow, it's yours. Free flow.
Yeah, which part will I come in now? First of all, let me speak about our prodigal son, Fubara. How is he fending now? I heard he has made a statement. What kind of statement did he make, one man?
No, I've not heard any statement, but he has resurfaced. You know, he disappeared, and people were a bit concerned, but he's surfaced in Port Harcourt, went to church. So it's well and good, but are no longer in charge. I wonder if they've withdrawn his own security. They've withdrawn a lot of his security details anyway, of course, because it's no longer governor.
It's not like a governor. They withdraw everything. He will work alone, except he will hire his own private security. And I keep hearing gas explosion, pipe explosion. I don't think that thing will be good for him. I don't know who's advising him, or he should try and find a way to sort that matter out. Because if the explosion keep on going on, I don't think he will see that sit up. He will return to that position. I doubt if he will return anyway, but the way it's going now, I don't think he will return to that position. They keep having gas explosion because he has nothing to leverage with right now. The only power he has, the position he has to use as a leverage, as we keep out of there. He was removed as a governor, so I don't know what else he think he has right now to speak with the presidency that will listen to him. He's no longer irrelevant right now. In politics, 24 hours is a long day. Now he's out. His phone will stop ringing. Nobody will be calling him again. So if he's smart, he should sit down, think deeply. What next? All this blowing up a pipeline threat, it won't help anybody. It won't help him. He should know nobody can defeat the federal government. Federal government have an ally. They have a lot of allies. I mean, nations ally. You don't have. You have a bunch of people that is screaming some certain set of chant and all that, claiming whatever. That's not the way to play politics. This is pure politics. You don't use threat, I mean, in politics. But unfortunately, we have gotten to this stage. It's a sad one. Anyway, I pray that he can sort himself out. That's what I have for Fubara. Then for Lagos, yeah, 1 billion naira would have done a lot of things for Lagos, but because of the car sharing system and all that, would not make them do that Lagos scheme. Rusai, I'm talking of fun. Go meet FA. Is with FA. Nani, FA looking American dog. So Lagos, the cleaning system, 1 billion naira would do. I mean, 1 billion naira for equipment for one-time spend. Another 1 billion naira would do to employ people. That is an opportunity. That is a window for employment. That will create a lot of jobs for a lot of people. The way Nigeria is right now, somebody receiving 100,000 naira or 80,000 naira monthly, that is sure for the next 5 years, can actually plan for something for his life. But there's nothing like that in Nigeria. That's the problem of Nigeria. There's no money coming at all. So if the federal government, the state government, Lagos is so rich, should put 1 billion naira aside for salary for workers. You know how much for 100,000 naira per a worker? They will employ more than 200 to 300 staff. That will not solve the problem, but at least it will do. Lagos needs constant sanitation to make that city okay, because there are too many people, because we generate debt, and they have seas, it's surrounded by sea. Of course, seaside smells, plus we have a lot of sewage that is blocked. This thing needs to be constantly clean and check. Environmental sanitation, they need it in Lagos. We should not blame it only on the people or the government, but we should blame it on everybody that everybody is not doing enough in Lagos, most especially the government. Money is not everything, but implementation is so important. How they implement it and viciously push it constantly, educating the people, sensitizing the people so that they understand the effect of death, what will cause. But again, they are all focusing on sharing the money in Lagos. That should be another job, another win to create a lot of jobs, like when they created last month, to create another job to employ thousands of people in Lagos there, to be doing clean up, follow up, and all that. Wama, do you have another topic?
No, I have several, but what I will do is I'll send the link into. Apologies to Prince Daddy and Ekene. I'm going to send the link into the comment section, and then I'm going to take the conversation to the back. It's very early where I am, and I have to go to bed. But because I started so late, so apologies for that. And the after hours host, none of them around. So that's the link in the comment section. We were also talking about Shea Tinubu world peace. The Northerners are not happy with the way he's going around distributing food in nylon bags to their poor
Yes.
people.
Yes, okay, let me drop a little one about that. I saw a comment, I don't know what that is joking comment, but I saw a comment on Facebook that was going around that one guy wrote, we received your comment. It's good that you came with rice, when you came to the north, you brought rice on nylon bag, but when you went to Ogun, Abha, you said you took ICT, hospital, and whatever there by your father. So we have gotten your message, we respond to 27. We know all these are just political statements, but like Mrs. Lita said, and you have said, you should cool it a bit, or you should do it in the proper way. You should not make it look the obvious. If he wants to go around to break fast with them, you should do it in a way that he will not carry the messenger along the message. You should do it in a way that it will be more as a humanitarian service, or even though it's political, but don't make it the obvious. And the way he's doing it, his immaturity is playing in it. He does not see it. And funny enough, the followers cannot talk to him. That's one thing I don't like about Nigerian politics. When they get
I think we lost you, World Peace. All right, I think we may well have lost World Peace. So anybody that wants to come in. We'll take the conversation to the back. Prince Daddy, let's have a little flavor of Prince Daddy before we. Prince, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, woman.
All right. Do you want to speak a little bit to some of the topics before we take it to the back?
Oh, I've spoken on Lagos sanitation. What else is there to speak about? Talk to about the Natasha lady. Now, I was not like I was a supporter of hers, but I just thought she needed a fair hearing, if you put it that way. At least let her look at her position in terms of her allegation, and let the system take the right course. But she's become really unbecoming. I mean, she's become obnoxious, and she's not that smart. She's not playing the game, so to speak, in the right manner. So, and at this point in time, even though the allegation is, I don't think it warrants what she's trying to have happen to Akpabio. It's ridiculous. Just a verbal exchange, if that was the case. And on the issue of was the one War Peace was talking about. I can't remember what War Peace was talking about.
It was talking about Tinubu.
Oh, that one there, I don't know. Well, but to speak about the prince, the prince was kind of how do you put it? It was quite welcoming of El-Rufai.
Yeah.
And we know El-Rufai is not. We know his character. He had this. We can call it alpha male personality, somewhat. But it's more like he always try to prove himself. this is not the way you do it. I mean, so Prince Adwale, that approach doesn't work in American politics. I don't think it works anywhere else for that matter. If you are the alpha person in your on your political platform, you must defend that territory. When Trump came to the Republican Party, he didn't find it easy. I said it before, and the people that paid attention, managers, I can tell you, the people that were anti-Trump were the Republicans. They despised him. They hated him. They wanted him kicked out. They wanted the Republican Party. But Trump came to play game. He played hardball. At the end of the day, he was able to defeat each and every one of them. And he assumed the leadership role of the party. That's just the way it works. You know, so if you're going to allow a Rufai to come there and you're so welcoming of him with lofty praises, you're not going to last. You're going to be sidelined and discounted. That's exactly what's going to happen. He miscalculated. They don't play nice man politics. He just totally miscalculated. And what Rufai is going to do, obviously, is going to try to take over the party and bring along people that's going to support his agenda or his plans. And I don't think Prince Adewale will be part of it. So him being a politician for quite a while, he's miscalculating. That's just not the way it works at all. We'll see what happens, but to me, it's kind of sad. Prince Adewale has been the face of that party, SDP, and a lot of people like him, including myself. I like his policies, as not in a socialist way, but I like what he stands for. I think he's a fair person. He wants to do good. He thinks more for the people, the general citizen. But Rufai has come to play Nigerian politics, dirty politics. Okay, so you might as well kiss the platform goodbye. I don't think he has any other chance.
Do you think Prince Adebayo, do you think it's going to exit that party before the next cycle of elections?
He's not going anywhere.
If it didn't, it will be dislodged. I mean, what is it going to do? If it can stay there to save face, but what is it going to do, though? I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not reading it right. At this point in time, politics is for alpha males. You have to be dominant, and you don't have to be raucous or brash, but nonetheless, people must know that this is where you stand and this is who you are. It's not about Mr. Nice Guy. Mr. Nice Guy don't win nothing. He doesn't win nothing, not in politics. So I expect if he doesn't exit, he's going to be quiet and he's going to fade into the oblivion. That's what's going to happen.
All right, brilliant. Let me take it to the back. Boston joins us as well, but we'll take the comment. It's only because
where
I need
is
to go to bed.
Ola there for comment section there?
No, I think Ola is in America. He's telling us that they are changing the visa system or something or the other. He was actually trying to caution you that you better go and do your B1, B2 or whatever it is that you have to do. Okay, before Trump that guy, man. That guy is a character. Okay? That's your Trump, Thank goodness we have a civilized country where I live.
We civilize.